Streets of Rage 4 has landed, and some of you may be asking whether or not you should make the purchase. I, for one, completed it here on stream last night, and I'm going to share my experiences. But before we do, I just need to add some context. I, as we speak, are waiting for the limited run release. I ordered that there are physical copies for the Switch and for the PS4. And I don't think there's physical copies for the Xbox, but you can get it free on Game Pass. This is Streets of Rage 4. And at the time of recording this, limited run still have stock if you do want to get yourselves a physical copy, because I keep getting asked, is it a physical release? And fortunately, limited run are selling some physical copies. So I've ordered the $59.99 version, which comes with the Genesis case and lots of other things, as well as the PS4 game. I paid for shipping, and I'm just sat here waiting, and I've also purchased the digital copy to be able to stream it and play with friends now. Bless you, bless you. So, should you buy Streets of Rage 4? Libby says yes, but I'm going to get into it in a bit more depth. Let's go. I'm going to do my very best to avoid spoilers in this. If I think there's a spoiler coming, I'm going to let you guys know. But Streets of Rage 4 has been in development now for at least the last couple of years, as it was released, that kind of early teaser trailer was released a couple of years ago. We finally got it, and it looks absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. In fact, we'll start right there. Graphics and visuals. Level design, sprites, everything you interact with and can see on the level looks so crisp. And one of the beautiful features about the development of this game was that every single thing you see is hand drawn, hand animated, like drawn obviously and animated from there. And it really does show. It is one of the most gorgeous looking games I've clapped eyes on in a long time. It definitely gives you that wow factor when you pop it into the PlayStation. I really am in love with it. And I really like the colour palettes they've used. There's that classic Streets of Rage neon pops amidst darker kind of greens, browns and greys. And it really does work beautifully. There's some really phenomenal levels, ranging from, you go into the streets, you go into like a concert arena in one level, you go into the sewers in one level, but each particular level has different areas. It's not just if you're in the streets, you're just in the streets. Things kind of break down, like in the sewers, you start off in the sewers and then you kind of go into a very different looking area to the point where you think you're not in the sewers anymore. And it just keeps me kind of yearning for more. Like, I constantly wanted more when I was playing it. I didn't want to put it down. I had and am having way more fun than what I thought I would ever have with this game, because initially I wasn't bothered. I thought, oh, here we go. Here's going to be another rejuvenation of a series that I once loved, and it's not really going to add any value to my love for Streets of Rage, but it has completely blew me out the water. I've done a complete 180 on my attitude with this. So graphics wise and animations, 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Maybe some of the more skilled eyes out there might be able to spot some flaws, but I guess I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm easily pleased when it comes around to graphics. There are 12 levels in total, and there are 5 characters initially. We want to talk about that. So you've got your 12 levels, and I've played through on normal mode. There are 4 difficulties, I believe. There's easy, normal, and then there's 2 above that. Started off on normal, and it was a challenge. It was a challenging, but if you're familiar with the side-scrolling brawlers of, say, like Final Fight and obviously Streets of Rage, you'll be familiar with what's to come. All of the classic enemies are there that we had in the originals. All of the classic bosses are there. There's some really nice nods to the original games as well with the arcade machines. And I do believe if you do come across those arcade machines, I'm not spoiling it, but if you zap them with one of the tasers that are near within that particular vicinity, it does warp you back to one of the retro levels or bosses from the Streets of Rage 2 game. So that's really, really cool. So there's lots of really nice little nods to the original, and that for me helps to kind of continue that spirit. There was no point in me playing this game that I said I'm bored. I felt the spirit and the ethos of Streets of Rage through and through, and I think sometimes games that come out or they try to make sequels years down the line can sometimes miss the mark, but this has hit the nail right on the head. So I've absolutely loved it. I've loved it. Now, characters. Let's talk about characters. You can play as the original sprites, but you need to unlock them. I don't believe I've unlocked them yet, so I wouldn't actually have a clue, but I just know that it is an option. So your characters, you start with Axel, Blaze, Floyd, Cherry, and then Adam becomes available at some point throughout the kind of levels. I don't know at which point he just all of a sudden went from being greyed out to actually being able to be selected. You can select different characters. If you die, there's an option to kind of increase your lives and increase your stars, which give you a little kind of power moves amidst the levels. And then you can select your character, or you can stay with the same one depending on what you want to do. For me, I had a good run with them all, and I'm not spoiling it. I'm just going to give my opinion on which character I think was the most powerful, and then we'll kind of filter down. I know this is going to be different for everybody. That's why I don't think it's a spoiler. So for me, I found that Floyd was the most powerful character in the game. That's who I completed it with. And whilst his agility certainly lacked and his movements were very slow, I felt that the benefit of having that extra power. So Floyd at the minute is my favourite. Then I would say Axel. We know Axel, he's the classic blonde hair in this. He's got a big bushy beard. He moves like Axel, he pulls faces like Axel, he's got that power there, and he has a little bit more speed. But for me, Floyd just peaks it on the edge with his power. Then behind that, I'd say Blaze, not as powerful, very, very fast though. If you like your agility, you're going to want to be picking Blaze. And then I would go Adam. Adam is kind of on par for me, a little bit slower than Blaze, not as much power as Axel. And then we've got Cherry, who is one of the new characters, and I just didn't think she had the power or the speed. So they were my kind of like from best through to the worst characters from what I've played through initially. If you want an experience that is probably going to get you a completion within 3 to 4 hours, for me, I found Floyd the most rewarding character. And obviously you can co-op with your friends online. There's loads you can do. I believe it's up to 4 players, so I will be going through again. If you guys want to add me on PlayStation, it's at TheGobs24, and that's the same for my Xbox Live, and maybe we can play through again. I would like to do more streams of this. So when I completed it then, it unlocked battle mode, which is a character versus character. I picked an online character, kicked his ass, and then he quickly got out the game once he knew he'd lost. So if you think the kind of Street Fighter 2 kind of aspects, you've got different levels and you just fight to the death. There were different weapons that you could pick up that you saw in the game. There was like this, I think there was a sword in one level of the game. That particular level I was on, the same sword was there. There was a ball and chain. There was, so there was like classic bits from the levels within the battle mode. Really enjoyed that, but for me it shines the most in the story. Now the soundtrack. The new soundtrack is beautiful. It works really well. There are some tracks that I found quite dull. I don't remember specific levels, and I don't want to kind of bark on too much about the music other than to conclude it adds lots of value. I didn't like it as much as the original Streets of Rage 2 soundtrack, but there is an option in the menu system to change the music to the retro music. So again, you can hear my dog barking, lots of nods to the original games that I just adore. So would I recommend you guys buying Streets of Rage 4 now? Absolutely. If you're on PlayStation and you're a PlayStation Plus member, the minute you get it for $17.99. If you're not, it's $19.99. I believe it's $24.99 if you're in the United States. And if you want me to unbox the limited run edition when it arrives, please let's get this video to, if this video gets 200 likes, I'll do an unboxing specific to that. There are other versions available as well. I think there's this version available for like $149.99. I'm not like, I considered it, but I was like, no. I think that actually launches today actually. So maybe you should kind of go over there. I think they're limiting how much you can buy per customer. I think it's three 3 per customer for the version I got, 2 per customer for like the edition above. So plenty of options available. I'm even going to buy it on the Switch as well. And I'm so passionate about it that I want to reach out to the devs. I'm going to email them and just say thank you. There were 3 teams behind this, controlling different parts of the game, such as the gameplay and graphics, and then the production, and there's loads of really cool information on the website. So I'm really happy with it. Loads of replay value because I do want to complete it with every single character. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Looks beautiful. Some of the level designs blow my mind, and I'm so happy. I hope you've took some value from this video, guys. If you have, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and if you are kind enough and you want to support this channel even further, hit that join link or the first link in the description. But for now, have a beautiful day. My name is Gemma. Take care. See you soon.